Hey, it's the Catalyst Sessions. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Bill DeYoung. I'd like to introduce you to Will Thomas Scecina and Dave Hamar, who are going to do a song for you. Fellas, take it away.
Ready for the key, Dave? Yeah. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Wear a mask. Have regard for others. Wear a mask. When you see grandmother, wear a mask. Curve it down to see you. Wear a mask. You can be a hero. Wear a mask. It's not much you ask to wear a mask. Just wear a mask.
Okay, let's tell the folks at home why you are doing that. So that was written by Will, your friend in New York, and what was his name? Mike?
That's my friend. Shout out to Mike D'Antuono, artandresponse.com. He did the artwork, and he actually wrote the song originally, and then he showed it to his wife, and she was kind of like, hey, Mike, the artwork is pretty cool, but I know this guy that might be able to make it pop a little more. So
she was telling Mike that he wasn't much of a singer. Is that what you mean?
I guess the key to success in this business is knowing what your strong suits are, right?
Well, let's tell the folks at home that song accompanies the video that we're singing still there for, and that won the St. Pete Catalyst PSA contest for a mask video this week, with Will singing and playing that tune there. And you won, what was it, about $8 million? Wasn't that the prize? Yeah, a whole big bunch.
$8 million, and with that, I'm gonna buy the Mar. And
the Mar is the other reason we're here. I should say that the video, the Wear a Mask video that Will worked on, the winning video, is going to be broadcast over Spectrum stations, which is very, very cool. And I'm glad to welcome him here, and also Dave Hamar, because Dave Hamar is one of the owners of The Mar. Not to be confused with The Mayor, which I made that mistake, folks. The Mar is on Central Avenue. It's the new performance space that's about to open on the 1st of September. And if you read the St. Pete Catalyst, you already know all this. These guys are pals. They're musicians who play together in Anyan Devery is the name of the fusion band. Am I right?
Yeah.
Guys, tell me about that band. The stuff I heard was very cool, because it reminded me maybe of the Yellow Jackets or something like that.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks. Thank you.
Well, it did.
Me and Dave and the other guys in the band had been playing like as backup musicians for a lot of people in the Bay Area.
Mm-hmm.
And we always wanted to just kind of have a product and get a good recording and document this kind of time frame in our life where we kind of just came together with our own songs and kind of tried to do our own vision, but tried to put everything together, like from the jazz to the top 40 to the funk to singer-songwriter to rock, and just try to find a way that let us just do the music we really love doing. And it was kind of like each person would bring a song, and then the rest of the band would help to realize their vision about it. Would you say, Dave?
Yeah, like you said, we would back up a lot of different musicians, and we're sort of like hired guns, top calls in the area for any gig that pretty much comes up, aside from some really like heady Latin music or something like that. We probably wouldn't get called for that, but we found that there's 5, 6, 7 of us who are just called for all different kinds of gigs all over Tampa.
So you're like the Tampa Bay wrecking crew, right? You're like the go-to guys.
Yeah, kind of. And like we love playing those gigs, those hired gun gigs, but it was like, hey, let's set a little bit of time aside to maybe just some of our own stuff together. We did.
The band is called Anyan Devery. Can you spell it for us? Because I remember it was, once I figured it out, it was like, oh, that's what it is. But it's like a haiku or something.
Kinda, yeah. It's Anyan Devery, like ANYANDEVERY. Annie and Devery, but instead of 3 words, we bumped it into 2. Anyan Devery.
Okay, Devery, yeah. Do you actually play? Does that unit actually play shows, or is that just something we're going to do this in the studio? I mean, do you exist outside of being backup guys?
Currently, well, we haven't played in a
Well,
while.
Currently is kind of off the table,
Currently it's off the table, but
Yes.
Um,
You're pointing back there. I suppose it's one of those.
yeah. Part of that is getting to do some projects like this. So no, it was kind of like a couple one-off performances that we recorded, and we got one album out of it, and we played sporadically a couple years ago. But moving forward, we're gonna try to do that, you know. And if it's not Anyan Devery, if it's not called that, it'll still be the same people that are in Anyan Devery.
Oh yeah. So you could be the Mass Marauders or something, you know. Dave,
Yeah.
talk to me about the Mar. The Mar is, I don't remember the square footage, but it's, looking at it in the image I'm seeing right now, it looks like a dance studio.
It is a dance studio. It's a performing arts studio. So it's a flex space right now. Like last night we played a jazz trio in here. It's right now, because we're not open yet, we're still doing some construction, so we're trying to address the natural reverb. But basically what the Mar is the performing arts studio flex space that can accommodate any and all of the performing arts. Specifically speaking to maybe like the ballet that we have, the ballet company in here, ballet Academy. You know, they're big enough to have a company, but not big enough to have their own brick and mortar. So we're sort of that, you know, bridging that gap between them.
So the Mar will be available to rent, per se. Like we want to come in there next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and rehearse. If you don't have something booked for the evening.
Right.
I mean, do you expect to be, I mean, in a perfect world, right? I mean, to be booked all the time.
We think so. I mean, we would love that. You know, like another way to think of it is an incubator for performing arts.
Yeah.
But like right now, because there's no place for anybody to play, you know, this is, I think, a great spot to come. Yeah, I would love to be booked all the time, and you know, people coming in and out of here being sort of a collaborative and a creative arts hub. That would be a way to like sort of focus the musicians and the artists and the actors, dancers in one spot to kind of really, you know, showcase St. Pete, Tampa Bay area in general, but St. Pete as a destination where a lot of great musicians are.
I think too, and we talked about this when we did the story a few days ago, that, you know, okay, I heard a weird sound. Did you hear that? Mice in the walls or something. Here, I don't know. Oh, it's you. Okay. That you know, you're a couple miles west of the Studio 620, and I like the distance. I like the space there. So it's not like, well, I can go here or across the street and go to the other place and work. You're almost in different parts of town, but it still unites us in a way that people will have the opportunity. And you're different from the Studio 622. I mean, that's another point that you made. Not exactly the same thing.
Right. I think, you know, we're set up, we have a dance floor here. Like it's a floating floor. It's built, I don't know, like 6 inches off of the ground so that it's, you know, the longevity of your knees. Like it's good. It's a healthy floor to dance on. I'll say that.
The longevity of one's knees, I guess, is important in the terpsichore arts or whatever it's called. Right. So, Will, you're gonna. I don't remember how many little studios there are, and there's a couple of little rooms. So you're gonna. What are you gonna teach back there? Are you just gonna record? What are your plans?
A lot of different things. I might teach. I would definitely be teaching virtually, and then when in-person stuff resumes, I might be teaching there as well. I'm going to use it as a production space to do, you know, it's kind of the stuff like I did for Wear a Mask, do more jingle things. Also for my own music, because I'm a singer-songwriter, I'll be working on that. And then just with friends' projects in general, just kind of like a multi-use, small production studio, but have the focus be on kind of like vocals, guitar, keyboards, maybe have like one or two people in at a time because it's a small room. But I like how Dave described this spot as like an incubator, because I want to have people come in and write music with them, you know, maybe demo a song, that kind of thing, as well as work on my own goals.
Well, you were gonna play a tune for us, I think.
Yeah,
that was part of our extensive negotiation and putting the show together. Right? It was, hey, do a song, man. Not just Wear a Mask.
I know, right? It's like, I
must be able to play exactly 60 minutes of my life.
Yes, that's right. The clock's ticking, man.
All right, so this song is called Pull Me Through. I actually originally recorded it with Anyan Devery on the album that you probably heard, but I just did a new version also with Dave playing drums off of my debut vocal album. I just released a single. It's on YouTube and it's on my Instagram at Will Thomas Music FL. But here's a kind of stripped down version of it.
Okay.
Another day, like your modest days. Now my eyes are deep. I wouldn't mind a little more time. Do the things I wanted to do. I cannot take another day in this place, surrounded by a fortress. Beginning to start, dissecting apart all the good things that I do.
That was great.
Thanks, man.
You know, I just, I'm watching your fingers and I'm going, man, not in a million years could I play chords like that. So, but that, the very soulful, very cool, man. Thank you. Hey guys, you both toured, I don't know for how long, with Mandy Harvey, who you folks might remember. I think she's from Florida, isn't she?
Yeah, she is. She's from Florida, then she lived in Colorado for like a decade, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Back
Mandy Harvey, it was American Idol. Yeah, she was competed on. Mandy Harvey is deaf, and she's a brilliant singer, and she plays ukulele, and I don't know if she plays guitar or other instruments too. But how did you get that gig? And I have to ask you both what that was like. I think she's brilliant. She's got a great voice.
Yeah, she's super talented. And yeah, she was on America's Got Talent. Not American Idol.
Oh, that one. Okay, I get them mixed up. Sorry.
But I'm going to pass this to Dave because he's the one that got me involved in the project.
Oh, okay.
So I think it was October of 2000. And I got called by somebody. It's like, hey, I can't do this gig. It's in Lakeland. It's on a Monday. Pays like $400. Can you do it? And I'm thinking, well, the Monday, yes. $400, of course, you know. And so like, you just got to find a bass player. And I was like, well, my best friend is a bass player, and he's phenomenal. So we'll be there. And he's like, well, it's kind of an all-day thing. It's a video shoot. Like, totally cool. We'll be there. So when I show up, and like we had to fill out all this paperwork, like SAG, you know, and like all this crazy paperwork, and we didn't know. We had no idea why we were there, and we met a piano player by the name of Alfred Shepard there. He didn't really know why we were there, and then like one of the producers with the clipboard's like, all right, you guys got to come into this room, then you can meet Mandy. And we're like, Mandy? They're like, oh, you'll see. And then she comes in and she meets us, shakes our hand, and she goes, and then somebody, I forget if she told us or if somebody told us that she was hard of hearing, and I was like, oh wow. And she goes, and the producer was like, listen, you're going to sit in this room, she's going to give you some music, and we're just going to go over the process in which she works with bands. And the music that she gave us wasn't like sheet music with like, you know, quarter notes and blah, 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 chord changes. It was just lyrics with chords over it. So like for me, there's zero information on how to do this song, no idea. And she said, well, I'm going to play through the verse. When you guys kind of feel it, just come in. We're like, okay, and she started playing, and like we weren't really paying attention to each other, really trying to like nail it on the first try. And you know, she went around on the first verse, and I was like, well, this makes sense for me to come in. And when I came in, so did Dan, the bass player, and so did Alfred, and it was like this, you know, there's, as a musician, you understand there's some moments that it feels like magic. If it's not magic, I don't know what it is. But that moment, it was just like electric. We all started playing at the same time with the same kind of feel, at the same dynamic level, you know, and it was, we played through the tune, and to me it was the most perfect we've ever played that tune. It was this tune called Try by Mandy Harvey. And, you know, afterwards, and like, you know, we looked around the room at all the you know, the techs and the producers and stuff, and they were like, it felt amazing. And
I know that song. That's the song she sang on the TV show. Try. I remember that now. Beautiful. Yeah. Wow.
So cool. And so, you know, that day we hung out with her like for most of the day, and her and I got on really well. You know, like, it was like pretty quick where we just started, you know, joking around with each other. And I think February of the next year, early 2017, she was like, "Hey, can you guys do a gig with me in Orlando?" Sure. So we showed up, played some jazz standards. There was a sax player on the gig. I don't remember his name. He was a really great guy. And then October of that year, I may be getting the years mixed up. Doesn't really matter. But she was like, "Hey, do you guys want to go on a short tour with me in the Northeast?" We're like, "Of course." She's like, "Do you know a guitar player?" And I said, "Well, as a matter of fact, I do."
Well, yeah.
I will. And like, you know, not only is he a great guitar player and a wonderfully sensitive musician, he's also really cool on the road. You know, like it's very easy to get along. You know, like, and that's how all of us were. And we went on that first little tour, and then she got another tour, and it was it. We've been touring over there ever since. In fact,
so are you still playing with her now? I mean, if something comes up, do you get the call?
Yeah. We had the call get canceled. We were about to get on a flight to New York.
Yeah.
In March, around like March 14th or something
Mm-hmm.
like that. Squished out everybody's musical plans.
Right, everybody's. We were talking the other day about how when all the theaters closed, it was literally Friday the 13th of March.
Wow.
You know, when everybody had done, several of the theaters in town were about to open on that Friday, and they were doing previews. So there are two shows, I think Job Site in Tampa and American Stage over here had done two previews. I was at one of them. I saw the one on American Stage, but they never got to open. Friday would have been opening. So listen, before I leave Mandy land, I should ask, because it's so fascinating watching her with her shoes off, like feeling the rhythm. Can she hear anything? I mean, how does she work with you?
I think it's like, I think she feels like air pressure maybe going into like your eardrums. But as far as tone, the way I understand it is like keyboards, piano, and guitar, she's not really going to get, but like kick drum, because she can feel it, and bass, because the pitch is so low and it's like super rhythmic, she can kind of feel that too. So to my understanding, that she kind of just feels it, and then just has kind of trained herself very well, kind of have this muscle memory in her throat of what the notes feel like in her throat and in her body. So I'm sure it's probably incredibly unique to her own experience, but as far as my understanding and my experience playing with her, that's what it seems like is going on. What
a tightrope walk for someone, though, to sort of, she must have a lot of faith in her abilities to just say, yeah, I'm going to go out there, I'm going to step out here and do this. Her pitch is so good too. That's what just astonished me.
Yeah.
But it's like walking into the unknown. Will I hear it? Will I feel it? Yeah, I have to trust that I will.
Yeah, and I think maybe like 98% of the time, 99% of the time, she's on. There were a handful of times where maybe she was like off a little bit.
A quarter tone or
something.
Like
a quarter tone. But then just,
like everybody else in the world.
Yeah, or start again even. I think maybe we may have even done that one.
Yeah, there was one where like, she got a little tap on the shoulder from Dan. He was like, hey, oh, and then we stopped, and then she sang into him. He played the pitch, and then she sang to him, and he was like, yeah, that's it.
Wow.
But that's the biggest train wreck that I could ever think of, and it wasn't even, it was like, we got to slow down because there's some gravel on the tracks, it's not really a train wreck.
And that's like our job as like, the way I see it anyway, as like a good backup musician. When I'm backing up someone else, it's like, I'm trying to make you sound good. I'm trying to like make you feel safe and comfortable, and I'm trying to catch you if someone makes a quote mistake, whatever that is. I guess is subjective, or maybe just something that wasn't intentional, and try to develop my skills, and Dave's skills, everyone's own unique skills to their instruments, to the point where you can react really quickly if someone does something unintentional, and then you just go with it, and that's you move on. On a good day, on a bad day, you're like, I suck. Dang it. Why did I do that?
So as we move into our last couple of minutes here, let's recap a couple of things. Will Thomas Scecina sang the Wear a Mask song, and his friend produced the video and wrote the song, and Will, as the contributor, won the Catalyst PSA video. It's on Spectrum channels. Did I get that right? I think I did. You have a record coming in, and you won a bunch of money. You have a record coming out, or it's out, your solo vocal record.
Yeah, it's coming out. I just released that song, Pull Me Through, that I played a few minutes back. That's the first single, and I have another couple singles that I'll be releasing myself over the next few months before the whole album comes out.
And Will's wife is Julie Dye, who is an artist who makes jewelry out of paper. It is unbelievable, paper and metalwork, and it's absolutely astonishing. And it's called, and I wrote this down here, it's called Blossom and Shine, and you should look it up as well. You should look up Will's website too, which is Will Thomas Music.
Yeah, if you guys want to find me, just go to Instagram at Will Thomas Music FL, or YouTube at Will Thomas Music FL. I have more content on them right now, so there's like a lot of videos and other songs and original stuff too.
There you go. The Mar opens September 1st. Dave, what's the Mar's website?
It's the Mar St. Pete, STPETE.com. The Mar St.
And Mar is spelled M-A-R. And if you say it real fast, it sounds like Hamar. Hamar. Hamar.
Right.
So can rent some space there. When it's performance time, rent some space there and do performances. I was in there the other day, and I'm here to tell you, all you sweaty friends of mine, that the air conditioning is superb in there. So, guys, thanks so much for coming on today. Do you have one more tune for us?
Yeah, I have one more tune called "Upside Down." That will be the third single off of this album that Dave is also playing on the recording. But we're going to see if we can kind of do another stripped down version for you. And thank you for having us on.
Hey, my pleasure, you guys, and I'll see you both, around. I hope.
Yeah,
of course.
Sure.
Take care.
She only wants to live in peace, but she can't take up her skin. She wears a fantasy. I'm living upside down in her apartment, way uptown, trying to understand how she can wake up every day. It's been 6 years since she has had to push a needle into her skin to keep her off her knees. I'm living upside down in her apartment, way up, trying to understand how she can wake up every day. She's 24 with so much unacceptable. She's still hearing back on the radio. She's not heard to when it's used to go before she understand how she can wake up every